City Wrestling.
Oh yeah, welcome to another edition of Grind City Wrestling. This is episode 269. Hello everybody, I am Dustin Starr and thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow us at Grind City Media. Take that subscribe button to Slap City wherever you're watching or listening, especially right here on YouTube. Also, check out the archives. We have interviews with some of wrestling's biggest stars, including Intercontinental Champion Gunther and most recently, Austin Theory from WWE. Last week, we recapped a ton of action from SmackDown at FedEx Forum and also Grind City Wrestling Night with Jeff Jarrett and Jerry the King Lawler. This week, is the final boss really that good? Plus, the best wrestling we watched all week, and I see that Devin already has goosebumps, so let's not waste any time. Let's bring in my co-host and tag team partner, ladies and gentlemen. It's Devin Walker. That's it.
I don't know what the hell that means when he does it, but it's always great.
Every little thing that The Rock is doing nowadays is just so damn good for some reason. Or is it, Devin?
Final boss, bro. Put respect on the final boss. He's coming. He is coming. That shit kind of hurts. But, yeah, bro. I'm feeling good this week. We gotta discuss something because there's a question. There's a question right now. There's a debate, and I have to ask you the question because I want to know how you feel about it. Because this final boss, Rock, it may be controversial. Mark may be living in the moment. But Dustin 5-star, the final boss might be my favorite all-time Rock in history.
We're going to talk all about it, and I'm going to spar back and forth with you a little bit. I'm going to play devil's advocate like I always do, but be sure to follow Devin on Twitter at Devin_Walker2. And I was going to say, where are you today? But it looks like you're in Grind City Media Studios.
No, we're at the crib now. We're back home for a day. I'm flying tomorrow for our last road trip of the season, but for now I'm here. But no, what the hell does this mean, by the way?
That is showing the people that he's got goosebumps. Even after all this time, The Rock standing in front of his people, he's got goosebumps. And of course, he has to go out there and slap his arm and show all the people. It's kind of one of his things now, I guess.
Shout out to The Rock. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to ask for it. Devin, what was your best wrestling of the week? Go ahead, do it.
It's coming up. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is we are on the road to WrestleMania. It is getting down to the final weeks here, and the card is looking awesome, and it looks like they're going to add some other people to the list that's going to be appearing. We'll talk a little bit about that. The final boss. Is that the best Rock character yet? We're going to talk all about it, and we're going to have the best wrestling that we watched all week, and if there's time, then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Ronda Rousey, and I want to ask you about Will Ospreay. But first, Buff Daddy is returning to Memphis. Oh, yeah!
Sunday, April 21st, Buff Bagwell returns to Memphis Wrestling. Meet Buff Daddy at our VIP experience and reserve your seat today at memphiswrestling.tv.
Welcome back to the studio, Buff Daddy from Dark Side of the Ring, and of course the NWO. He's going to be joining us on Sunday, April 21st. Did you see the Buff Bagwell episode of Dark Side of the Ring?
It is in the queue right now. I'm really excited to watch it. On my Hulu, for some reason, the new season hasn't been updated yet, so I'm waiting for the season to update. And trust me, I'm tapped in because I did a lot of binge watching over this last road trip. I want to talk about on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
More important things to talk about right now.
Absolutely. And I'm like you, I don't have Hulu Live, so I'm waiting on them to update to season 5 or whatever, but I cannot wait to see it. I heard it's really good and gives us plenty of stuff to talk to Buff Bagwell about when he's in town. Plus, before he gets here on April 21st, we will have him back on this podcast, so we have to watch it so we can ask him some questions. I heard there's some stuff in the Dark Side of the Ring that maybe we don't know about, which sounds crazy because there's so many wild Buff Bagwell stories out there.
Can't wait. If it's anything like the other Dark Sides of the Ring, I know it's 10 out of 10. So I'm excited to watch it.
John Tenta episode was absolutely heartbreaking. If you guys haven't seen it, go back and check that out. But right now, We got to
Let's
talk
get
about
to
the
it.
best wrestling we watched all week, and I think it's a no-brainer for Devin as he keeps slapping his forearm and showing me his goosebumps. Devin, what's the best wrestling you watched all week, and why is it the final boss?
Because it is the final boss. And I think I'm going to start at the beginning of the show. I think as a whole show, I think that SmackDown show is the Raw was probably one of the best Raws they've had in a long time.
Yes.
The show opens up with Cody coming out, doing his thing. And I think this is where I start talking about the final boss, because this tells you how freaking over he is, right? He's already been over. He's The Rock. Don't take much. Cody's in the ring talking. The Rock's music hits, and for you, production, you know how the camera angles are. They flip the camera angle where you can see The Rock come through the shadows, like freaking like a superhero, like a villain in like a movie.
I mean, WWE, they do get better and better at their production and stuff, but it seems like, and I know everybody's saying this, but it seems like that Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon are gone now, and some of the camera shots have changed, and that's one of them. Also, there was a scene where they went all the way from the arena, up the ramp, through the gorilla position, all the way backstage, and it was one continuous scene. I don't remember ever seeing anything like that, but just speaking to The Rock's entrance, it just keeps getting cooler and cooler.
It's so dope. So they flip the camera, Rock comes out of the shadows, he walks to the ring, slow as hell, gets in the ring, slow as hell. And you think, okay, we're about to get face to face, Cody Rock, let's get to it. Rock stands there, looks him in his eyes. He mouths something and walks away. And the crowd is chanting, "This is awesome." Bro,
right.
The Rock didn't say a word.
Right. Okay,
and that was
so
perfect setup for what happened.
What did he whisper? What did he whisper?
I'm gonna make you bleed.
Okay, so I was at training, so I was catching up with this on Twitter, and they were saying, "What did The Rock say? Do you read lips? Do you read lips?" And come to find out, I'm gonna make you bleed. Now, fast forward to the end of the episode, right? Actually, let me back up. 2.2 million people watched CM Punk's promo, by the way. I haven't seen what the final number was at the end of Monday Night Raw, but it had to be just that or better.
For someone who does not like CM Punk, I'm gonna give it, because this best wrestling of the week is just all Raw as a whole, because that Raw was, I was telling my friends who I get these shirts from, and I was like, bro, that's probably one of the best Raws I've seen in the last decade. From like beginning.
And the cool thing though is we've yet to mention a match.
Exactly.
It was all about the promos.
Even the Ricochet match was phenomenal. So let's fast forward past that. CM Punk, McIntyre, Seth, phenomenal. Because I was reading that they basically told them go out there and do your thing. Cool. Fast forward to the end of the show, right?
Yes.
And we talked about that at the game the other day. You looked at the time and were like, you know what?
I did.
You got 7 minutes to fill. How the hell are you going to get 7 minutes in?
So that's me watching. I'm thinking, okay, because we do the same thing on Memphis Wrestling. If the main event goes off and you've got a whole segment left, it's like, okay, something's going to happen. What is it? So I'm sitting here thinking, main event's already off. I know The Rock is here, but there's 7 minutes. 3 minutes, 2 minutes is a really long time when you're standing on camera by yourself. Yes. 7 freaking minutes. I go, okay, so what are they going to do for 7 minutes? Surely, and I'm looking at the clock, and I'm like, and that's me being a nerd saying, all right, what are they going to do? How in the hell is The Rock going to fill 7 freaking minutes of beating up Cody? Because he was already beating his ass by that point. So I'm watching the clock going, how long can this go? And man, The Rock not only filled the time, but it was fantastic.
So he's beating the shit out of Cody. And for me, Dustin, this gives me Attitude Era vibes, bro. Like, we don't really get a lot of backstage brawls of dudes just beating the hell out of people. Because even we get a little bit of backstage action, but we don't get it falling into the outside. The Rock dragged over the ledge and like beating the hell out of him out over the ledge.
In the rain.
You're like, is he gonna throw him over the ledge? Oh shit, what is going on? He's beating him up, talking crazy. He's talking crazy. Throw him into the car. We'll talk about the positioning of the trailer in a little bit, but
there's some foreshadowing there.
Yes, a little bit of foreshadowing. Rock's beating the hell out of Cody, and like you said, at the time, you're like, damn, man. And he's talking crazy the whole time. And then we see Cody bleed, and I'm like, oh my God, yes. This is what we wanted.
They're doing it. They're really doing it. Like, they're doing it right now on purpose. So, like, I felt like that with The Rock dropping an F-bomb, The Rock dropping the S-bomb, just cussing and beating him, and then not only Cody bleeding, but The Rock smearing Cody's blood all over his face, all over the belt, talking about his dad and his mom. I mean, it was like, that literally felt like we have just flipped the page and there's a brand new chapter under the TKO era, and that now it might not be the Attitude Era, but you're going to get some pretty badass stuff on WWE. Like in those UFC promos, they go all out, man. They're always worried about the advertisers. But I think if they're pulling in 2.2 million people for a promo and you got The Rock, I don't think you have to worry about sponsorship money, brother. They are going to be there. And WrestleMania 40 could be the biggest WrestleMania ever. And I'm not just saying, like, I'm not getting paid by WWE, but if you get The Rock back, Cody, Roman, and then the foreshadowing you haven't even mentioned, but holy cow, this could be awesome.
And I think the way they set this shit up, bro, is the best part, because like we thought they would just do the simple play it out kind of thing, but I think The Rock really like leaning into this final boss shit, right? The imagery of The Rock standing over Cody in the rain while Cody's bleeding over his face. He's holding a belt over. I'm like, bro, the imagery, bro, like that shit is it's doing this right now. It's goosebumps, man.
Shout out to Cody too, because Cody sold his ass off. He never once tried to fight back. He knew what the business was, and that was Rock all over. Now, The Rock, I think, is actually overshadowing Roman Reigns at this point. It feels like we're getting Rock versus Cody, you know, and so there will be some sort of shenanigans in some form or fashion, because in the background of this fight scene, which was super cool, there's a trailer. A WWE trailer that was parked just in camera shot. And that's what we're talking about. We talk about camera angles, right? We're talking about camera angles. You know what they're doing. And then all the trucks now have WrestleMania logos on them. They showed pictures of Charlotte, all these folks that are on the new WrestleMania trailers. But this trailer did not have that. This trailer in the background had Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena on it. And people are saying, was this on purpose? Look, WWE doesn't do anything by accident. And I love the reports. WWE in discussions with Stone. Dude, WrestleMania season, they're in discussions with everybody. Come on now. But we might get to see John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody, all of them mixed up at WrestleMania 40 and possibly in the same match.
I don't need them in the same match. I just think if I was a fantasy book this, of course, night one, they lose. The Rock wins, right? Then you get the bloodline rule. Right. And I think maybe like babyface Cena or babyface Stone Cold, the glass hits to come out and help Cody, some shit like that. You know, just to, you know, if I was fantasy looking at it. But I don't think they'll all be in one match, but I think one of the two will be involved in the WrestleMania main event. One of the two.
I feel like that's kind of low-hanging fruit, that if you have the Bloodline Rules match and you've got all these characters, right? Solo, Jimmy, Paul Heyman, The Rock, you got all these guys there. Jay's the babyface though, right? So, but Jay could help with. Jay's going to be doing his own thing with Jimmy. But anyways, the point that I'm making is that the deck is stacked so hard against Cody that Austin could come out and help him. Cena could come out and help him. And then all of a sudden, just imagine a Rock Stone Cold standoff at WrestleMania 40. Or The Rock and Cena standoff. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? That'd just be fantastic.
I just think all of this is just the best for wrestling, bro. The way the excitement we have when we talk about this, because there was a time 5-star we talked about, is WWE, are they struggling, right? Are they still cooking in the kitchen? And I think they've had like 9 sold out shows in a row. They're the hottest conversation everywhere we go. We went to the SmackDown show. It was hot. Everybody was excited for SmackDown. Bro, and I said it from the show. Wrestling is cool again. The Rock is back. And that guy, the final boss, man, he is making this shit electric. And I love every bit of it, man.
I do too. I think it's awesome. It poses the question, though. Is The Rock so cool because he's allowed to do stuff that nobody else is allowed to do yet? I mean, he's cussing.
I think you
He's
sound
got
like
some blood flowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody else is allowed to do that. The only one that's coming close on promos is CM Punk because he always pushes the envelope. But when everybody else is allowed to do the same stuff, would it be as cool?
I think if they didn't, I think the way that it's being positioned with The Rock is making it cool. I don't think it's just because he's able to curse and he's able to do this and that. I think the way it's telling the story is what's making it like seem dope, right? Like, because the blood of like, you know, if The Rock's like, I'm the final boss, and I'm just the imagery of it. And me and Benador were talking about yesterday. One thing the WWE has going on, they have a lot of amazing heels. A lot of like heels that you're really invested in, right? The baby faces, the Codys of the world, they don't really have a lot of like strong baby faces. You see like the top baby face getting his ass kicked and seeing him bleed. I think that's what makes it so dope, right? For me.
Very cool. Definitely the best wrestling that we watched all week. I will agree with you on that, but just for sake of conversation, because this is a wrestling podcast, I'll give you another best wrestling that I watched all week, and it's anything that involves Rhea Ripley. The Rhea Ripley stink face on Nia Jax is all over social media, but then also there's Devin, there's a cool little interview that she recently did where she mentioned Buddy Matthews, her husband, and how the platform, what's that?
She's wild, brother.
Yeah, well, the platform that he's on is a lesser platform. And so it's got the internet, especially AEW fans, you know, up in arms or whatever about.
She didn't lie. She didn't lie.
She definitely did not lie.
I love how she said, I know this is going to make some people mad, but. And it was true. But go to Twitter and just type in Rhea Ripley and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about as far as the best wrestling that we watched all week. All right. I got some notes, Devin. I got some notes and we have plenty of time. I got to ask you my question.
Okay, April 6th and 7th, that's 2 nights of WrestleMania. You can watch absolutely free at Dave & Buster's. Plus, I'll hook you up with a free power card. We'll have one of the Memphis wrestlers out there on the 6th because we do have a Grizzlies game. And then on the 7th, of course, I will be there with power cards too. So the road to WrestleMania is almost completed. April 21st, you have AEW Dynasty coming up, the next pay-per-view. You can also watch that one at Dave & Buster's after you watch Memphis Wrestling Live with Buff Daddy Bagwell. But you got up first is WrestleMania, right? So, does Cody Rhodes win the championship from Roman Reigns?
Are we asking that question now? Are you going to be asking that question this week?
I'm asking you right now. Just from the story that we've seen so far. You know, because I can see where Cody doesn't win, but also the obvious thing is that he should.
Yeah, I think the image I have in my head is Cody winning the championship, and he gets his hand raised by either Stone Cold and or John Cena. In the middle of the
only thing
super baby faces all together. Belts.
The only thing is Roman is still chasing Hulk Hogan's streak. He's still a couple of 100 days behind Hulk Hogan. So why do you go this far just to go this far? That's the only thing.
Yeah, if you go this far, he has to at least break the record, right? I know how hard they're trying to like grab Hogan from the record book. So, that's a good question.
Tough one.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Roman kept the belt. We all know how this is going to be. Solo shows up in a hoodie, spikes him in the neck. 1, 2, 3, just like Hulk.
There you go, just like last year. Okay, so on the other side, AEW. Do you realize that Samoa Joe in 2024 is the face of All Elite Wrestling? He is the champion.
Huh. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, he's great, bro. Like, that was phenomenal. But I don't know about being the face of Earth in 2024.
He is. He definitely is. He's on all the graphics. He's on everything. He's the champion. But then also he defends against Swerve Strickland coming up at Dynasty on April the 21st. Now, Samoa Joe has not had the title that long. Swerve Strickland has had some success, but he hasn't really captured any championship gold just yet. Will Swerve Strickland beat Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship at Dynasty?
I don't think so. I think he keeps the belt for a little bit longer. As over as Swerve is, and you know, I love Swerve, but like you said, Joe's a recognizable face. Let him keep the belt for a little bit longer.
Right. And I have two others. I've got Will Ospreay or Ronda Rousey. Which one do you want? I'll just pick one and we'll do the other next week.
Ronda Rousey's corny ass.
You want to talk about her?
She's so corny, bro. She's so.
She got a new book. She's got a new book out, and she is absolutely tearing WWE apart. Do you want to hear some of this?
Give me some of the quotes. I've read some of them, but I think you got some more of them that I haven't heard yet. So give me some.
I'll give it to you real quick. Here's an excerpt from apparently her book. It's online. WWE loves to do well-produced video segments about the legacy of women within the organization, but the truth is, women have largely been footnotes. For the longest time, they were relegated to serving male characters in a valet role, an overly sexualized support character that takes cheap shots when the ref isn't looking.
Ronda.
Are wrestling valets overly sexualized?
Yes. Do you
They
know
are?
what? Yes. But we've already known this, bro. This is not something. This is not new information, Ronda.
I'm talking Miss Elizabeth. I don't feel like Miss Elizabeth was overly sexualized, like a true valet.
Like, if we go like Melina, some of those like
WWE builds itself as a sports entertainment organization, and just like the mainstream entertainment industry, there was, by all accounts, a casting couch culture where men backstage in powerful positions pressured female talent for sexual favors in return for airtime.
Okay, that's a little out of pocket.
Oh,
that's a little wild.
Man.
Nobody's asking Ronda Rousey for a little pleasure. I promise you that, my guy. I'll keep it
one. I just didn't want to be Vince's action figure anymore. Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
I gotta bleep that. I felt like I was doing custom matches for a sicko in the back. All power to the girls that keep fighting the good fight, but I'm in my mid-30s now. I've got shit to do.
Ronda, like, I understand, bro, but you were terrible for a year and a half. When they
Becky
put the
Lynch
in your hand, when they said, Ronda, we're gonna let you talk, that's when I didn't give a F about what you had to say anymore. I'm sorry. Like, you were a robot in the ring. You were living off your UFC legacy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro, but I know you have copies of but I'm sorry. That shit was terrible.
They asked Becky Lynch, and Becky was extremely nice, saying that her first run was great because she was in the ring with Triple H and Kurt Angle and Stephanie, some of the very best in the business. But then on the flip side, they realized she couldn't wrestle. And she was like, no disrespect, but she couldn't wrestle. And that's what it's about. It's about loving something so much that you want to make it better. Here's a good one. This is the last one I'll give you. And this one's about Charlotte Flair. That's why I think it's so good. She is speaking about WrestleMania. They weren't supposed to go that long. The whole time the referee is telling them to go backstage, and Charlotte threw her big D on the table and said, no, we're going to do this awesome match. And that's what the women are dealing with. They're not allowed to show how amazing they are because, the crowd's going to be tired for the guys' match afterwards. And she says that that's total bullshit. So she's talking about Charlotte having to literally tell the referee, no, we are not cutting our time. We are not going home. This is WrestleMania. We are just as awesome as the dudes are. Deal with it. Shout out to Charlotte.
Shout out to Charlotte, bro. Because
man,
I guess the thing, Charlotte can go though. That's what I'm saying. Like, somebody like us, I would. If you put Charlotte in the ring, I've always had this theory of you can put Charlotte in the ring with a broom, and she can make it look good, right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
absolutely.
Of course, like people like Charlotte, people like Bianca, people like even Bayley. Like, I will watch their matches. Ronda Rousey, no. I have no.
Towards the end, I did not watch Ronda's stuff. I would fast forward a lot of it. All right, I know you had a question for me, but the last one, I got it. Let me just throw it in here. It's just a simple question, and it's after watching AEW, Dynamite, after watching Will Ospreay wrestle for over 20 minutes against somebody that we've never seen probably once or twice on AEW television before. Are you buying into all this Will Ospreay hype?
I think he's phenomenal in the ring. I think he's electric in the ring. I think it's gonna take a little bit more for him to really get over a little bit. I think he's like, if you from like match for match, I think he's so much fun to watch. But other than that, no, I'm good.
I don't really want to watch anybody wrestle for 25 minutes though, especially on a Dynamite or a Raw.
No,
or something.
It's a pay-per-view show. Yeah, that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like they're going like spot for spot. You know what I'm saying? But not on like a regular programming TV show. I'm good on that.
Like Will Ospreay, I think it was Shibata he was wrestling. He should beat him in 10 minutes or less, and then save the 25 minutes for Daniel Bryan and Will Ospreay at the pay-per-view Dynasty. Right?
Yeah, exactly. You save it for the big show. But that's the one thing I do. I do think the AEW does too much. They allow too much time to some people sometimes. I'll say that.
Lots of time.
Yeah.
All right, that's my notes for this week. What you got, Devin?
All right, bro. Before we get out of here, I gotta ask you. We gotta go back to the final boss.
If you slap your forearm one more time,
we're gonna have you have to put a forearm for our fans that watch the show. We need to have a forearm counter. How many times did I slap my forearm on this one episode? We need a
tweet us at Grand City Media.
This is the question, and this is a question we're gonna pose to our fans, and I'm gonna pose a question to you. Because I think in a short time, The Rock has kind of positioned himself. This final boss character, it kind of came a couple of weeks ago, but I think it's becoming one of the best Rock characters ever. If you put the Mount Rushmore of Rock characters, you got of course like Flex Kavana, you got Rocky Maivia, you got Nation of Domination Rock, you got Corporate Rock, you got early 2000s Rock, you got Hollywood Rock, you got after 2011 Rock. But I think this final boss Rock, he's creeping up there. I think he's number 1 5-star. This work he's doing right now, bro, it is top tier work. It's giving me goosebumps every time he hits the curtain. I think 5-star, when it all said and done, final boss Rock is the greatest Rock character of all time. There you go. I know you're gonna push back. You're gonna push back. I know you are.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know that I can disagree, because when you have a certain level of, I guess I'll say, authority or power, right? Like The Rock can do no wrong at this point because it's so good. I kind of compare it to like, all right, so on Memphis Wrestling, I don't really have a script. I don't have reads that I do or anything like that. All that I do is natural just from my brain because I live it, I breathe it, I eat it, I sleep it, I do it every single day. I don't need cliff notes. I don't need a read, right? Because it's mine. I can't mess up something that's mine, right? Like if I'm working the Grizzlies game, I got to make sure I do it the way that they want me to do it. If I work in the Redbirds game, I got to make sure that I'm doing it the way that they like for me to do it, not the way that I like to do it. But Memphis Wrestling is mine. I can do it however I want. I can't mess up. And I feel like The Rock now being on the board of TKO, having made his return, also being one of the biggest superstars in the freaking world today, I just don't think he can mess up. And when you're so confident in your position and you know that anything you do is going to be cool with management or whoever backstage, you could just go out there and do your thing, man. And then sure, he's been doing it a long time. He's been on so many movie sets at this point. He's been on so many award shows. I mean, like the biggest shows in the history of the world he's been on. How's he going to go out there and mess up? Like literally, he can do no wrong.
Exactly. He can do that. And the thing is, I feel like he could, if he was because some people have the thing like, oh, it's corny. Bro, there's nothing corny about him beating the hell out of people.
It's wrestling. Of course, there's going to be a little bit like, I mean, him talking mess the whole time he's doing it and all that stuff. Yeah, non-wrestling fans say, oh, come on, that's corny, whatever. But if you're watching a movie,
it's dramatic. That's wrestling. Yeah. It's like a movie.
Fight scene. That was our main event, and it wasn't even a match.
And I know people are probably going to push back at me like, yo, what about Corporate Rock? That's when all the kind of catchphrases kind of came to be. That's when he really got over. Yeah, cool. Corporate Rock was cool. Wearing the Versace shirts, that's cool. It was all great. It's cool. But this Rock, like I said, he comes out of the curtain, bro. He stands there, and the crowd goes crazy. He walks down the ramp. The crowd goes crazy. He walks in the ring. He doesn't have to say a word. The crowd goes crazy. Final Boss Rock is the greatest Rock character of all time. Debate that.
If you smell what Devin Walker is cooking.
But the final boss is cooking. Let's go. I love this shit.
Catching all new Memphis Wrestling this Friday and Saturday on Action News 5+. And we have a calendar that's absolutely loaded. Check it out.
Join us for Memphis Wrestling Live next Saturday and Sunday, April 6th and 7th. Watch WWE WrestleMania at Dave & Buster's with us. It's free. Saturday, April 20th, Memphis Wrestling is coming to Little Rock for the Arkansas Travelers Wrestling Night, featuring Kay Toomer, The Gun Show, and more. Sunday, April 21st, Buff Bagwell returns to Memphis Wrestling. Then head over to Dave & Buster's for AEW Dynasty. It's free to watch. Friday, May 3rd, Memphis Wrestling returns to West Carroll for a huge fundraiser benefiting the West Carroll Touchdown Club. All tickets are on sale now. Get yours right now at memphiswrestling.tv.
All right, welcome back. Devin, what's going on this weekend for you, brother?
And I'll be on the road. I go on the road this last long road trip of the season. I'll be gone until next Thursday, but I'll be tapped in, man. Like I said, I think I have not been this excited about a wrestling event or just wrestling in general in a long time. Because even just like random people want to talk about it. Like people that aren't even into wrestling, they want to talk about this rock thing. So I think, bro, I haven't been this excited in a long time. I'm super ecstatic for Mania next week. There's a 45-minute video on WWE YouTube that tells the whole story of Cody and Seth versus the Bloodline. It's amazing. But yeah, bro, I'm super ecstatic. I watched a lot of Dark Side of the Ring this week. I'll talk about that in another time. But this week, man, it's all about that final boss. It's all about the final boss, Dustin 5-star.
I'm looking here to see. I know that The Rock and Roman Reigns on April 3rd are supposed to appear. I think it's Jimmy Fallon show, which is huge, right? But they're making an appearance coming up, so everybody will get to see the final boss right before WrestleMania. But anyways, I also have baseball. Redbirds opening day is at 3 p.m. first pitch. There's a big plaza party going on at 1 o'clock this Friday, probably same day that this podcast drops. And then also on Easter Sunday, happy Easter, everybody. I'll be out at the ballpark with my family and Reese the Beast. We're going to be hunting Easter eggs on the field at AutoZone Park. So come check us out at the ball field, opening day, Friday for the Memphis Redbirds. Anything else before we get out of here?
Man, I got nothing else, man. I smacked my forearm enough. It's kind of burning right now. So, yeah.
You got a red forearm?
Red forearm, but I'm telling you, man. There's nothing like it right now. There's nothing like wrestling right now, man. WWE, AEW, Memphis Wrestling, your programming. If you're a wrestling fan, or if you're a fringe wrestling fan right now, I advise anyone to tap in because you'll find something you enjoy. Show enough. We got Buff Bagwell coming. We've got Brooklyn Brawler coming. Beer City Bruiser will be coming in May. James Ellsworth is coming back. And then also we're going to make some more announcements coming up for the future shows of Memphis Wrestling. So get all the information, memphiswrestling.tv. That's all the time we have this week on Grind City Wrestling. For the final boss, Devin Walker, I am Dustin Starr saying, yeah.
So long, everybody. We got to count, see how many you got.
Yeah, that shit hurts, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see how he does this many times.